Hello.
Oh, that caught me off guard, that timer. Damn it. Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
I think it's over to you, Ben.
It is, yes. Welcome back to episode, I don't know how we're dividing them, our third session of The Fading, which is very, very exciting. And it does look like today the party may reach their young companion's church who are sure to collapse and worship her. But we have a recap video which we can find out all the details and prime us ready for today's amazing adventure, which I've been very much enjoying. I wish I could do a retake of this.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just give me 1 second.
Excellent.
Go.
Now.
Hang on, 1 sec. No sound. Let me fix that.
Eustace's dead mother wrapped her up
There we go.
in cloths and stored her on the back of a buggy, made their way through the woods to the church of Aostra, who will surely recognize her glory, her power, worship her appropriately, and hopefully cure her of what's looking pretty much like fatal food poisoning at the moment. Assailed by wolves halfway through the party, only barely managed to escape, two of them having been dropped, but they have made it safely out of the forest, and perhaps the lights and the warmth and the welcome of Weissmere will see a change in their fortune. And maybe there's some way that the paladin can get some armor, because it's kind of an essential thing.
And some people are really excited, aren't they, Ben?
Oh, I really...
Especially Johnny.
And now back to you.
Good.
Hi, Johnny.
Hi.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Hey.
Hopefully,
All right.
hopefully
Johnny
we
again.
haven't just blown Nathan's mind by bad lip syncing to what Benjamin was saying.
No, perfectly fine. Ben, just poor old Ben there, just doing his thing, right? Yeah.
That was lucky. Well, it wasn't me
You
that
were
did it
saying
first.
not pleasant things about Ben.
Yeah, it wasn't me talking. So,
Yeah.
I don't know who was talking.
It was just Ben's head bobbing and laughing. That's it, guys. Just smile and laugh.
Good.
Absolutely. So there you go. That was the plot last. None of us could actually hear it. We could just hear our hilarious bad lip readings of it. But you all there have an advantage over us because you remember what happened. But so do we, because it's burnt onto our memories as a wonderful experience.
That's
Can we
right,
just
everybody.
have a recap of the characters again, everyone, for everyone's benefit, including mine.
Listen with advantage.
Let's start. We'll go from Nathan, and we'll go clockwise from him.
Starting with me would not be fair, but, you know, we can do what we can, hey. I've got skills. I'm just distracting while I look it up, and then I'm ready to go, and here we go. So, my character's name is Baradas, and he's an
That's right.
paladin dwarfish thingy-majiggy who is just has no armor and no weapons. So he just walks around and does nothing.
What his god is, he doesn't know.
He doesn't know who his god is. He doesn't know where his god is. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know anything really, apart from the fact that he is damn sexy and in this voiceover will do some very fantastic things afterwards. But that's the secrets. Yeah, that's right, Ben. You know the way, because he's a fantastic little character. Dwarvish and awesome.
What's
You don't remember the name of your god, but you know you serve some holy god.
He's the named the bearded
Yeah.
one. That's all I know about him, is that he's named a bearded one, and that I served him while I was in the tunnels with the family. Yeah.
I remember.
But there,
It's going to be really hard to convert.
Didn't we loot his corpse? Didn't we loot his corpse?
Yeah, we looted the corpse of some of the people from the last
yes,
town.
it wasn't
but
looting. It was.
we were freeing him, taking advantage.
Oh, okay.
They
We-
were friends.
And then we buried him.
We buried him because remember he was like very, very unwell,
Yep.
and we fixed him, and we
Yeah,
buried him above
I
the
think we should all get an extra bonus on religion checks from our 3 different types of burial
That was very
practice
true.
knowledge.
Absolutely.
But then we don't remember. I think that would be.
Absolutely.
We had funeral pyres, sky burials, and burying, inhumation as it's called.
We had 4 types. We just left some out to the nature. Yeah.
That's a sky burial.
Oh,
You got to have their eyes open to the sky so their souls can fly
sky
up or
burial.
something like that. Is that a part of it?
Some, yes.
sure. Why not?
Some. Excellent. That's cool. And so but you have some hint that there's a something in the mountains, some sort of holy place in the mountains that you're connected with. Is that right? To the south of where you were?
And we had to make a left turn.
Yeah, we had something that we saw, but that's about all we know. Yeah. We just have to like go towards the mountains is all I can see. But I can kind of like judge where we are based on the mountains, depending on the peaks, because it's like kind of like a compassy type thing.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's cool. Awesome. Thank you, Faradas.
All dwarves can. and
All
why can't
dwarves can
you?
do it, but
That's
not
right.
just me. You know, but I am specialist.
Murray?
Billy.
I'm playing Eressa. Eressa is a female half-elf sorceress. She does not know that she's a sorceress. She's been kept in seclusion by her parents. Not that she knows that. So all the things just turned up, and she can manipulate fire, and she thinks that why can't everybody manipulate fire? And then when magic overtakes her, when things get stressful, it basically comes out in a giant stream of vomit, which is Tasha's caustic brew. So that's basically how her magic manifests itself, and she hasn't learned to control it yet.
That's amazing.
But she believes in friendship.
She does. One thing she knows, she may not know, her past, but she does know that friendship is in her future.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, it's beautiful. John, Eustace.
Yeah, I'm playing Eustace. Eustace is the ugliest halfling you've ever seen. Looks more like a goblin with more human skin tones. And Eustace didn't fall from the sky. He was hanging from a tree by a rope by his neck. And he was adopted by a woman from the village who's been killed recently by some ruffians, helped along by Murray. And and Eustace believes that the world is based around luck, and he has lots of bad luck. So he believes that he brings bad luck wherever he goes. So he's a thieving, sniveling, little roguish creature.
That's super cool. The guy who killed your mother was killed by you, but one of the sort of bunch of ruffians trying to rough up Eustace got away, I believe. Who you know is called Cedric.
Okay.
Eustace, because you recognize, because they bullied you in the past. Everyone else was murdered by the party, which was kind of as the party just flicked into kind of automatic murder mode, like a well-oiled machine. The same thing happening with the wolves.
We were more of an anti-bullying brigade than a murder mode, I think.
Okay.
Really.
Yes. Springing into action, defending the defenseless by murdering everybody. Okay, that sounds great.
Vomiting on my
Much difference
mother.
between those two. Yes.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
I wouldn't say murdering her, but teaching them a lesson that's not how friends behave.
Education. Yes.
Friends are nice.
Permanently.
Friends are nice to one another.
Yep.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Murder, friendship.
Yep. The
you
same
know.
thing. Yeah.
You say potato, I say murder.
That's for the courts to decide.
They murder.
That's for the.
Write
You
it
say
down.
potato, I
It's
say
a good
murder.
one.
Damn. Oh, that's great. I'm that one down.
I want a t-shirt like that. If you want a
Yeah, that's
t-shirt,
gonna
put
be
it in
a
the comments.
t-shirt.
You want a t-shirt. That's fantastic. Excellent.
If you just want to watch this without a t-shirt, sure.
That's
Just
right.
as well without a t-shirt.
Excellent.
Oh my god.
We're a Phil Collins role-playing group. No T-shirt required. That's right. Thank you for all those oldies like Derek and I who understand that reference. Lovely jubbliness.
Oh my gosh. Johnny, local.
Yeah, I'm playing Lorkel. Lorkel is a male furbolg, and he is very friendly, a bit of a
What's a
gentle
furbolg?
giant. Furbolg is kind of a giant-kin sort of race. He's 10 feet tall, which for a furbolg is not probably slightly below average height, but for you guys is very tall. And yeah, he's a big blue-skinned gentle giant, except when he's threatened or his friends are threatened, where he goes into a rage because he's a barbarian.
And that's when the murders happen.
So he's friendly until he's not.
Yes.
Is he an adolescent furbolg?
Not sure. I don't think he knows how old he is.
Right.
Can't remember anything before last Tuesday.
That's true.
Did the world exist before last Tuesday?
Oh,
You have no evidence
We don't know.
to suggest it.
Could have been,
Had
but
it-
we don't know. we just
stuff
had
in
a
the past.
dream, but that's
right.
it.
But those visions didn't. The world you were in those visions didn't resemble this world.
No, I had armor, and I actually had a place to go and do stuff.
The visions that Derek's character Suno and you have seen have been in wheat fields in the sun, flat, wide wheat fields with the wind gently bending the crops.
Have you shared those visions with us at all?
Oh yeah, we
I
shared
don't think
them.
you have. Have you?
Yeah, we so what happened?
Well, then I would say
Yeah,
that since we don't have those now, and we've been past things that have been destroyed, clearly there must have been a time where those things were built and were not destroyed, because you don't make them. You don't make them broken.
Indeed.
Logical.
Yep.
Indeed. That's right. I
deep.
mean, that's right. The village that you were in was utterly destroyed, but there were many signs of established life. In fact, the barn that Eustace was in and next to had all the signs of being very ancient indeed,
Until
and very, very rotten, and having been built a long time ago, not taken very good care of, and sort of falling over. I mean, you guys helped it fall over.
That's
in
why it
addition to that.
collapsed. Nothing to do with.
That's right.
nothing to do with us and what we did. No.
Lorkel is also carrying a terribly swollen hand, stung in a moment of misfortune by a stinging nettle that he mistook for another useful herb. And it's started to kind of weep and pus a little bit in slight sort of cracks that are forming around some of the most stretched parts of skin. So there's been some healing done on it, but it looks like you kind of need restoration or something. There's some part of your brain is saying there's other medicine that more powerful priests can offer. So hopefully this church that you're heading to, the Church of Aostra, might be able to minister some healing.
Quick look, it's got a hook in
I
it.
love that the plot is that you're like,
I love that the plot is that
my character.
My character.
may not call you Dad.
yeah,
Johnny's character will
yeah, my character needs healing, and your character needs healing too. So you need to take me there. Yes, let's go. Attach the hooks.
Parallel lines. What do you call that? A train track? Railroad. That's the one.
Yeah, defining direction.
I
through
don't know
two
what you
tracks.
mean.
There are the players who prefer monorails, and then there are the people who like railroads. And it's like,
You can
whoa.
do whatever the heck you like. You're
As long as it
totally
falls
welcome.
along
But
the
if you
track.
don't go to the town, you will die.
Your hand will explode. That's right.
I remember trying to march through the snow last time and got told, no, it's not going to happen. Tell me what disastrously goes wrong. I'm like, nothing. What?
It's only because you
Yeah.
rolled a 1.
No.
No, I said. Okay, yeah, that's right.
You'll be fine.
Deep snow.
I want to hear about Suno.
Suno, tell us about Suno, Derek.
Yes. So Suno is a similar to Nathan's character. She punches things, but when they get punched, they just generally just keel over and die sometimes.
Boom.
And they don't get healed. She's a fairly lithe, fast on her feet monk, and she exists partly in the world and partly in the dream world. So she's a Kalashtar creature, and it exists in this weird kind of nether phase where both dreams and reality and nightmares all exist in the same place and intertwine and affect each other. So
That's pretty cool.
Oh, I forgot to mention, I have a tattoo.
Yes.
In my supernastal notch. That's right, I've learned the phrase supernastal notch just for this role-playing game.
Supernastal.
Yeah.
Supernastal
So,
quadriplegic, let's yell and
and it's
Don't say that.
it's of
Oh yes. Yes,
So
yes. We
it's
remember that.
actually
Yes.
it's actually a
Oh,
what do you call it? It's some kind of
Sigil.
thing
Sigil.
that tells you left, right, east, west.
Ah.
You know what direction.
a
to go.
compass.
oh, okay.
Compass. Bloody brain. Supernastal. I can remember
I
the
was
word.
assuming it was something
Supernastal. Compass goes right out. I need to obviously remember which words. I'm like a sorcerer. I can only have a certain number of words in my head in any particular day because otherwise I'll just drop.
He needs a long rest, that's for sure. Look at
And
him.
I foolishly put supernastal in, and compass fell out.
That's
Bloody
right.
hell.
Popped out the other side.
You've lost direction. You don't know which way to go. Oh no!
Yeah, exactly.
I would have said compass, except I was imagining it was some way more sophisticated, trendy history word or something. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to go back to the basics. Mari, I love you. That was amazing.
I'm glad that that's your default for me, because pretty much it's going to be the really basic one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. You just take out the simple words and they all go back. This is a compass.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. It's totally, absolutely.
Those words all went too, obviously. Never mind.
Little do you know? Well, actually, do you know Eunactus? Actually, no. Excellent. The party is accompanied. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have a character. I'm the dungeon master. But the party is accompanied by a character called Aostra, and she is an adolescent-aged female. She has extremely long, curly hair. Not tight curls, but wavy curls. She striking eyes. She is reasonably beautiful, but kind of covered in snow and dirt. Her feet and toes
She's
are
covered in a
blackened.
lot more than that, Ben.
Yeah. Like clothing. And all that kind of other stuff that you carry around.
Girl, you're reasonably beautiful.
I love that. You go to a girl, you're reasonably beautiful.
But she's also covered in fecal matter, vomit.
She is covered in her own vomit and poo, because she's pretty much dying, apparently, of yes, as you heard in the recap, food poisoning, because she foolishly went ahead and ate some mushrooms that she found in John's mum's kitchen. Whoops! She also, her toes are blackened and splitting because she was forced to traipse through the snow without any shoes by the heartless companions that she happened to find.
I don't know that that's the way it shook out.
No, I think her perspective on things is somewhat flawed.
Flawed character. Yes.
It's really tricky when the DM is an unreliable narrator.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was trying to say.
I think I'm just going to say this. This might ruin my role-playing career forever, but I think all DMs are unreliable narrators. To be honest.
You betcha, baby.
Can't say that. Oh my
God. She did also get stabbed at the farm and during the fight, and magic healing seems to have some kinds of issues healing her. Nathan.
Oh, that's right. Nathan got knocked out.
Some healing. Yeah, he got knocked back.
Yeah,
and
I was just trying to be helpful, and lost everything. But
that's what she claims. That's what she claims. I mean, stroppy teenagers where I'm going, but I don't even know what a stroppy teenager is, because I'm a teenager and I'm not stroppy. I'm all about friendship. So
I am a god. Stop talking about me anyway.
Mind blown.
So you did make it through the woods. It is kind of early morning by the time you've just basically just gone through the night, pulling the cart. Is that right? You're pulling the cart, are you, Local? Is that right?
No, we have a donkey.
No, we have mules. Yeah. I think we had 2 mules
with a literal carrot, I believe.
Yeah,
that's right.
The mule is like I couldn't be bothered pulling anything, and I just have kind of an innate, natural, automatic dislike for everybody, but including the party. But then the thought of being left behind to be eaten by wolves kind of is enough to motivate it to keep pulling, even though it's well going beyond its ability just to keep going. So you emerge in the very early morning, kind of what like kind of 4:30 or something in the morning, and there's the twinkling. A few twinkling lights left in this town. I shall turn on some sirenscapes.
Ooh.
It is a small village. A number of buildings huddled against the snow. Thatch roofs. Dirt compressed streets. As you come in through the first few outer buildings, that's right, from the north, there's small buildings. You come into a center. There's a well in the center, various different buildings. It's very, very quiet. Obviously, it's sort of relatively dark still. It's just the tiny hints of a little bit of light shining in the east.
Is there any building that looks particularly like what in weird imaginations would be a temple? Not having ever seen a temple or knowing what a temple looks like, is there a building that looks different to the other buildings around it that stands out?
Yeah, we've seen a church.
Oh, okay. Well, is there one that looks like an unbroken church?
Preferably with like a symbol of what's her name on it.
Helstra.
Yeah, like a
Elstra.
portrait. Oh, look, there she is. Hey!
Did I say you saw a church at some
Yeah,
point
we
last
saw it in
week,
the
did I?
first town. That's where I saw my dwarven friend who was the priest, and we stole his coat and everything.
Where we reappropriated.
Oh, back. Sorry, at the beginning.
Yeah,
Yes,
right at
yes,
the
that's
beginning.
true.
We had an
Yes.
entablature and everything. That's right.
Yeah.
I
See,
love it.
entablature's still in my head.
But
Who knows what other
not
words have fallen
compass.
out.
No. We got that
Yeah.
in, but just not the compass. That's perfectly fine.
You know, the
I've still
Trigless,
got
the Trigless
Agnes.
and the metopes are all there. Yeah, see, there's big words are in,
Any-
but I don't know where the little words are going.
Any churches?
This building here, just to the east of the
Well,
well, is a church.
Left of the well.
Okay.
Okay.
As you come
Well.
to the east of it, yeah, as you come a little bit further around, you see some people, a group of about kind of 6 or 7 people huddled by the door of the church, trying to shield themselves clearly all night from the lightly falling snow. And that barrel, you can see just to the south side of the door, is actually has some sort of degree of fire still burning in it. Maybe they've been burning a little bit of a fire in there to try and keep warm, and they're huddled up against it.
I can help. I'm going to walk forward and hands extended, ready to create warmth, like
Wow.
a friendly gesture.
So what sort of spell are you casting?
I'm about to cast Create Bonfire.
Like always, the answer is bonfire. That's right, bonfire.
I'm a level 1 character. I haven't got that many options when it comes to what spells can you cast.
And this is a cantrip level kind of power, is that right?
This is a cantrip level power, 60 feet, so I can launch my bonfire to where they're all huddled about, so it'll keep them warm.
Is that a
So-
thatched roof?
It is, but you're going to fly it into the barrel, are you? To sort of give it a big boost
Yeah.
of
To
light?
basically give it a boost.
Okay.
Ooh.
You know,
Awesome. So you do that as you walk. The party's just sort of walking towards. Suddenly, fire flies out of Murray's character's hands, Eressa's hands, and there's a bit of a scrabbling, a couple of screams as people are wrenched from uncomfortable sleep, and they fall backwards, scrabbling in the snow away from the now raging fire that's in this barrel. There's a few sort of sides of the barrel where it's rusted away. And the bonfire's squirting out the sides of there. Everyone seems to scrabble away, but there is someone who's still asleep on the ground, stretched out near the fire. They don't seem to stir at all. What do you do?
I feel like I want to run over and from the fire in case they get hurt.
Yep. So you rush over to this person. Yep. They are pretty close to the fire. There's sort of a bit of sort of screaming and sort of and sort of things like that from the rest of the group, and you start to claw at this person. They're all wrapped up in cloths and bound around and around and around with bandages, and you can't even see their face. And you start to drag them away, and then you realize pretty quickly they're a dead weight, possibly because
They
they're
could be
actually
anybody.
literally dead. It could be anybody, and and so you're clawing at this thing. A woman rushes forward and says, "Get away from him! What are you doing? Get away from him!"
Yeah, I let go of the body and stagger back, and
What
I'm
are
so
you
sorry. I thought they were getting hurt.
Getting hurt?
I thought I was keeping you warm.
The fire came from you. A young man comes and stands next to his mother, perhaps.
Perhaps.
What are you doing interfering?
You were all looking very cold, and it was a friendly thing to do.
They sort of now just sort of register as the rest of you pull up with the donkey and the cart. Elstra's in the back of the cart. The body is in the back of the cart as well, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Wrapped up to some degree as well.
The mother.
Eustace's mother. And they sort of look, and the mother launches back a little bit when she sees Lawful. What are you?
Hello, my name is Lorco. Very nice to meet you.
Lawful? What's a Lawful? The son sort of steps forward and tries to sort of shield his mother from you in case you attack them or something.
Well, we've pilgrims. We've come a long way. We've gathered all of these people from far-flung lands to pay homage at the Temple of Aostra. Is this it?
They turn and look to the temple, and the sun looks up at this large blazing sun with a sword slashed across it, and he says, yes, of course it is. Yes, that's why we're here.
I turn to female friend and go, is this it?
So you
What
Aostra
state
is
Aostra in?
Yeah, Aostra is in the back of the cart, and she's curled up in a ball, moaning. And she doesn't even appear to have noticed that you've arrived anymore.
Oh. We're here.
Our friend is very sick. Perhaps you could help us. Is there a priest or someone who can help us?
Us help you? So that was the mother, and then the son just says, Yes, the priests will help us. Yes, the priests of Aostra will help us. Absolutely, that's why we're here.
Okay,
How long have you been waiting?
Pardon?
So I sort of go past them and go to knock on the door of the temple.
Mm-hmm. And so they watch you, and you knock on the door. Big heavy knocks.
Politely, but I'm quite
Politely?
large, so
That's right. You can hear inside this building has stone walls, unlike the picture on our map, and it's a bit bigger than that as well. And you can hear the knock echo inside.
Is anyone in there?
Is anyone in there? There's a whoosh of your voice echoing inside, and then the mother rushes up and goes to sort of grab you and pull you back and says, "Don't anger them. No, what are you doing? You must show due respect."
Can I do a religion check to see whether temples of Aostra are always meant to be open?
That's a cool idea. Yes.
Not on a 5.
No,
I have no idea.
Excellent.
Ben, I might hop around the back and see if the door's open somewhere else. We may not be at the right entrance.
I was just going to ask you to do that. That's brilliant.
Excellent.
Yes, please.
Best to
I
double
love
check.
it. So you start to sidle around the sides to find alternative points of access. And, excellent. You do that.
Can I just try the door?
So you go up to start to examine the door.
Yeah.
Give me a perception check to see if you can find a way of forcing the thing open.
I got a 14.
A 14. It is a beautifully made, expensive, rich door that does look like it would be fairly heavy and difficult to pry open.
But is it open? That's what I actually want to try.
Is it just
paranoid
ajar?
question.
Is it just closed? Yeah.
Is it open? So you gently lean up against the door, and it does seem to be solidly latched and pinned shut. Yes.
Good to know.
You go down the northern side of the building, John.
Yeah, sure.
There's
Whichever's the
it
closest.
has like a long straight section, and then there's these two sections that poke out from the side, and up high in those sections are complicated looking windows.
Cool.
Okay, and then in between those, there's a it travels into the building. I probably should just share this picture here. Hang on, boop. Yep. Okay, there we are. It's coming. There you go. So in there, let's go wide. You can see there's a door there in that second middle section. If you just zoom back a bit, if you're able to, Nathan. So
And
there's
is that-
another door there.
Is that door locked?
So you go approach the door and give me a perception check on it.
To see if it's locked.
Yeah.
Okay. 15.
15. Yeah. So it does also seem to be latched heavily and nicely sealed shut. This is a well-made building.
I would like to pick it.
Nice.
Excellent.
Talk to our Aostra friend and ask her if her temples are meant to always be open.
Okay, yep. So you go up to the cart and rouse her. She's there, moaning and gasping and sort of in the throes of painful sort of racks of pain, painful washes of pain. I can't form it. You know what I mean? And you put your hand on her and sort of rouse her to try and attract her attention.
I think I'm going to go for, empathy approach. We're here. We're where you need us to be for you. It's exciting. I thought your temples were always meant to be open. Is that not the case?
Her eyes peer open. We've arrived.
We have.
We're here.
We are. It's exciting.
She starts to lift herself up on her hands and knees.
No. We're just trying to find the priest, and then he'll let us in. But I would have thought the door was open. But the door's been locked. I look at Suno. The door's locked?
Yeah, totally closed. Local, could you help?
They told us to wait. They told us to wait, and they would see us when the sun rises. Don't disturb them.
Well, sunrise isn't far away. Apparently we have to wait.
Our friend is very sick. Perhaps you could help us sooner.
We can't help you. We're here to. This is my father, and he points down at the corpse on the ground. We were delivering my father to the church for them to ascend.
How long is it until the sunrise?
You feel like it's maybe an hour, or just a little bit more till sunup.
Is there a way of being able to tell whether Aostra can wait another hour? Can I
Cool.
sort of do some kind of
You want a medicine check or something?
medicine? Yeah.
I like that.
I can do medicine. I am proficient, he says, without rolling his dice. I get a 16 for a medicine check.
Nice. I got a 6, so I'll rely on your judgment, I think.
She looks pretty bad. She's sweating. There's copious amounts of saliva coming out of her mouth. Maybe she's thrown up everything. Well, it's clear she's thrown up everything she can, and now there's sort of bile and stuff. She probably does need help sooner than later.
Rightio.
But I'll be able to detect.
Yeah.
Can I detect good and evil and just kind of just do a big, have a look around and see if that helps as a spell?
Awesome. So that goes through walls out to 60 feet and all that sort of stuff, like detect
Apparently.
good and evil or not?
Yep.
Or is it just you get a feeling about it?
I don't get a real. I just get I don't really get a look around. I kind of just get to have a bit of a browse, but probably not.
So no?
Yeah, look, the answer is going to be no, but it's worth a try. Just to try to see what we could do. I'm just wondering if we can use it in a secondary source kind of thing. We can kind of look around and just detect good or evil.
So not the alignment of people, but you sweep the area for sort of demons and things like that. That sounds like a good idea. So you're doing that. John, do you want to give me this lockpick check?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find what it is that a lockpick check is.
So it's a dexterity check with proficiency.
And that So
how
what?
to
Sorry.
lockpicks in 5e.
Remind
Dexterity.
me what proficiency is.
So you'll have somewhere in your sheet you'll have a proficiency written down. I can probably look at that. 2 class features. How to
here we go.
lock pick in 5e. Dexterity check with proficiency, yeah. So whatever your dexterity bonus is.
Yeah, cool.
Which
So it's just a 7.
Plus 5, so 7 plus 7, yeah.
Ooh.
So 15.
15.
Nice.
Yeah, so you have a pretty good go at this lock, and you kind of can feel it out a little bit, but you don't manage to click it open.
Okay. All right, I'll return to the group.
You could try again if you like.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that was an option. Okay.
You don't break anything. You don't stuff up. You
Okay.
don't seem to have alerted attention to yourself.
I will have another go. Can I have another go now, or we doing another
Yeah,
round
have
of
another go
something?
now. Yeah, have another go now.
22.
22.
There we go.
Oh. I like it. Yeah. So you take a deep breath. You're disappointed in yourself initially, but you do manage to get this bolt to slip. It's a beautifully made, well-oiled bolt, and a clunk, and the door is openable now.
Then I will open it, nibble it. And then I will go around to the group and I'll say, oh, we're so in luck. It looks like the door is open. We're just going to the wrong door.
Eustace, have you turned a new corner? We're lucky.
It looks like we're very lucky. Okay, well, it's this way.
What have you What have you done?
We're just at the
the
wrong
mother says.
entrance.
The wrong entrance? Are they letting us in? Quick, pick up your
Yes,
father.
quickly,
Pick
this
up
way.
your father.
Yeah, so we go through the back door and make a big stage of it, knocking on everything down and making sure that everyone knows that we're kind of like entering, you know. It's very important and all that.
Oh God,
Entrance
that's
for
terrible.
magicians.
Or we have to do bad mime because it's a stage door, and then
Yeah.
So we grab my mum and we grab.
The son picks up his father and tosses him over his shoulder. Sorry,
Aressa as well.
Aressa is not
Aressa, sorry.
moving.
Aostra.
Aostra, yeah.
So many
Aostra.
names.
Yeah, I'm
Can
moving.
you pick her up, John?
I can pick her up.
I can't pick her
Yeah,
up. I'm a
yeah.
halfling.
Very big halfling.
One-handed.
Sure, why not? How big
Yeah.
is she?
She's
Wasn't she? She was riding on his shoulder for most of the time. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Your hands just got a fair bit worse since kind of the last few hours. That's
Lucky
all.
you have two hands
Yeah,
then,
but
don't
I-
you?
Yep.
And they're
two of
enormous.
them!
Well, I count as large in determining my carrying capacity.
Yeah. Okay. So you're just going to sort of scoop her up in an arm
If
and
you
kind
think
of
a large creature could carry a one-handed, then I can carry a one-handed.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
You scoop her up as lovingly as possible. Kind of. You can probably sort of push with your other hand, can't you?
Paradis, come and help with Eustace's mother. I say.
Excellent. Ah, yeah. So Faradis, you're going to go and haul this woman, Eustace's mum.
Then you and I can take 1 foot each if Paradis takes the shoulders. So you and I, Suno, we're going to take a leg each.
Beautiful.
Oh, I wish I could help, but
You could be under the midriff in the middle at the back.
no, I couldn't. Oh, I couldn't. No. I'll show you where the door is, though.
Brilliant plan. This is what
So
friends
this peculiar
work like
bunch of
together.
people, the mother and the son bearing his father and a couple of other people who you hadn't sort of interacted with much, who had been cowering away from the group, scuffle round the snowy, dirty street, round the sort of side of this beautiful stone building, and down between the two columns with beautiful glass to this dark, heavy wooden door, which you've tested as ready and unlocked. Eustace, do you push it open?
Yeah. They left it open for us. That's very nice of them.
But
Our luck has changed.
So you creak open the door. It doesn't even creak or anything. It's beautifully oiled, and it slides quietly open on its hinges.
That's a very unimpressive sound set of the well-oiled, soundlessly opening door.
Right.
yeah.
Here, listen, everyone.
Sirenscape.
The sound of good maintenance.
Oh. That'll cost you $22 for that sound set.
That's right. you move. You go first, Eustace, into the darkness, or
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, well,
so you start to sneak in. There's
sneak in. No, we're meant to be here.
Yeah. So you slide in. You start to walk in.
We're a giant
yep.
group of people just like shambling in, aren't we? I don't think we're sneaking.
Yeah, no, we're penitents, but we're here for good purposes.
Yeah.
So you start to move in. The first couple of you get in the door, and there's a scuffle and a gasp and a rustling of cassocks, and a couple of young men barrel towards the group, holding up their hands, saying, "Excuse me, what are you doing? What are you coming in here? Stop!" And they sort of there was kind of a bit of a corridor going in towards the church, and just before you kind of reach the opening, they're there blocking, holding up their hands. They have beautiful long white robes with gold and trim on them, and big tassels coming from their shoulders.
According to a very good authority, temples of Eostra should never be locked.
Ben,
Is that not true?
Can I cast Disguise Self?
Wow. Yes.
I'd like to look like one of these priests.
So just like that. So you're kind of half coming into the room. You get a decent moment.
I get a good look
at
at them, but I'm kind of at the back, so they haven't seen me yet. And then I'm gonna disguise myself as a priest of Eostra, carrying Eostra.
Excellent. That's pretty damn epic. So you sort of move back a little bit as quietly as you can, do the components of this spell, and yeah. What happens to your swollen hand? Does it kind of get incorporated? Maybe it's
the same size.
a club sort of limb or something, or like a disability, or
Yeah, I mean, the spell should let it look like a perfectly healthy hand.
Okay.
It just won't feel like one to me.
Function. Yeah, and
And
don't
it won't
function.
but it won't look like it's an illusion spell. I'm not actually
Excellent.
changing what I look like. I'm changing what I look like to them.
I love it. That's true, very much. And so you were then. So while all that's happening, you were saying something, Mary.
I was saying that I have it on very good authority that temples of Eostra must remain open at all times to the penitent. Is that not the case?
I love it. They sort of gasp and say, "How dare you make such decrees and demands?"
Oh, no. I'm asking you a question.
To wait outside while we consider the worthiness of their pleas.
Is it not a tenet of your faith that your temple must remain open at all times? Is that not true? Is that true or not? Tell me. Give me the answer.
It is a tenet of our faith that we consider the wishes of our goddess above all things, and she has commanded us to meditate on the truth.
Have I got a friend for you? Because look who we've got here. And I gesture towards Lorkel and Eostra.
I love it. I love it.
Young boy carrying the girl.
The illusion carrying the girl. Yeah.
Yep.
God, that's got to look weird with the physics of it all.
So you part significantly, and there's this reasonably good rendition, hurried rendition of one of them with so slightly sort of more chunky features and quite a nice beard,
and quite tall
quite tall. That's right. Holding this wrecked body, she's wrapped up in a big cloak. Remember, with fur-lined edges. She stinks. Her beautiful flowing hair is matted down her face and down her sides, and her eyes are a little wild as she struggles with pain. And you all sort of indicate. What did you say? We've got a gift for you.
What did you want to?
She's just got that dribble of sick going down the side of her face.
That's right. Yep, that's right.
Ben, I add to this, and I look at the lead monk and connect with him mentally, and put inside of his brain the sound of angels singing.
Okay.
As the goddess is revealed.
It's
so does she get a will save against that kind of violation?
It's a literal revelation.
No, I can speak telepathically to any creature I can see within 10 feet of me.
You just go,
He just hears it.
Very loud and echoey there. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Our very first edition. No will save. No, it just happens. You go.
Yeah.
You die. Wow. They stand aghast, confused for a moment. The priest you tried to project your voice into sort of looks around hurriedly and searches around to see if a spell has been cast on him. But
Is there
can't
somewhere?
pick you.
Is there like a dais or a altar table or somewhere I can place
Yes,
her?
I think put her on the
hard. You have
altar.
to barge past them.
I'm pretty good at
but you-
barging.
Yeah, you're really good about it. So you sort of come barreling forward. They're like, "What are you doing? Stop! Who is this woman? What is this girl? Oh my God, she smells! Oh,
Do you not recognize her? And I push her forward. Just put her in front of them.
that's right. That's right. That's all they seem to
Can
see.
I kind of turn her face towards them
Yep.
subtly?
Yep. You should try to with your hand that's not quite working. You kind of push her face over.
I just don't want to say anything because I'll sound like
I'll sound like this.
That's right.
He's possessed.
When the priests get a good look at Aostra, I say, "She has arisen,"
And she's not very well.
into his mind.
Blasphemy! What do you mean? What do you mean she? What are you saying? Who have you brought here?
Do you not recognize her? Your own
Recognize
goddess?
what? Our own
Oh,
goddess?
I'm going to point one finger at him and say, blasphemer!
Okay. So, as soon as they get her up to the altar, I want to actually touch her and try and heal her again. So, like, do what we did before, where it blows, so he knows it's real power, because that's the way to get it out of her. So, like, touch her.
I love it.
Channel.
Okay, so you haven't got to the altar yet. You've kind of barreled up to them, and they're backing off because she really smells bad enough to make just about anything back off.
Yes, I'm just going to go up there and just be like, getting ready to be like, putting my finger out and getting ready to channel. Be like, pop it
cool.
off. That'd be great.
Lay finger.
Lay
So
finger.
you lay tentative finger, and yes, I suppose there's kind of an explosion of energy. That was a terrible sound, and there's a burst of light, and everyone is thrown back, but mainly you, and you actually crash into the wall, and I'll give you some damage.
2d6 last time I got
Yeah.
against the wall.
You're ready for it this time.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
ready for it this time, so I'm going to make it only 1d6. So 4 hit points damage.
But you lose the finger.
Ooh.
Yeah.
My
Just
secret
tip.
finger. It's like glowing, covered in like.
Just
Yeah,
give us a
still
roll,
going.
Nathan, just to check it's not a 1 on a d20. Just to see if this finger actually loses it.
This is Nathan we're talking about.
Yeah, he'll lose the finger.
This is.
Whoa!
You don't lose the finger.
Above a 10.
I've never heard a 12 celebrated so much.
That's above all the fingers on my hand. That's amazing.
That's right.
So
Right,
special.
so there's an explosion of something going on. They're pushed back. Lorcal is just desperately trying to hold on. And give me a hold on to the poo-covered, mucus-infested girl in the face of her,
The
kind of
things
blowing
you
off
hear
of
in
energy.
gaming.
I was thinking,
Is that a strength check?
Yeah, give me a strength check.
what was yours, Derek? This would be a
Natural 20.
Natural
boom.
20.
Wow.
You're like just standing, your hair and
know what
beard
that
just go.
Yeah, and as I heal her, like behind the wall, there's like another layer of like maps and images and everything behind there, like something
Get
dark.
residual healing.
Oh well,
Good
I
idea.
tried. Let's see what I could do. Get away with whatever.
Yeah,
That's
just
what I
a-
do.
just a bit of bonus, lesser restoration just
Yeah,
thrown
do I
in.
just get like a... What is it? I can't remember.
Remove condition?
Yeah, you kind of need restoration for sure.
Yeah.
These
I mean, I'll take
acolytes
healing.
stagger back. What is this magic you are casting in this hallowed ground? Get out of this church! It is a holy place. They don't recognize the goddess's magic. Eostra in your arms, Local. Only you notice, like Harry Potter being. Oh damn! I did it. Definitely didn't mention Harry Potter. I promise not to do that anymore.
Everybody has advantage now, and Ben has disadvantage.
Everyone
on
has
all
advantage
rolls.
on your next rolls. Excellent. Good. That's a great idea. One each. That's really cool.
Wow.
She just turns up to you. She turns her head as if she starts trying to mouth something at you for you to listen to her.
Sorry, Ben, I really need an analogy. I really need it's like something to understand
like
the
something
imagery
from,
you're
like,
trying to.
wizards and something.
What's it like? Would I have seen something similar that would help me envisage what she's doing? I'm just not. I'm just not.
I gently sort of raise her up to my ear to listen closely to what she's saying.
You're a wizard, Harry. These are
Could be anything.
are faithless fools. We must find the priest. Only he believes.
All right.
Mm.
I turn around to one of these lackeys dressed in the robes, and I bore my eyes down into him and say, "Bring your mask."
Okay, excellent. Intimidation or whatever it is, charisma check
Wow.
with advantage.
That was like the most perfectly timed lag I've ever seen in my life. So dramatic.
Oh wow! Oh wow! It's getting even freakier.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Is that with
six.
advantage?
With advantage?
With advantage, Derek.
You need advantage.
I think you
because
need-
I-
You get a Harry
every
Potter
analogy.
advantage. Yeah.
What did your
You got a
analogy
Harry Potter
of?
bonus.
Oh look, because you lagged out at just the right moment, I'm going to make that freaking work. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Excellent. So yeah, they sorry, Nathan.
That's amazing. No, that's nothing. Just amazing.
I didn't do very well. I only did a 6. No.
That was amazing.
Yes. So you he staggers back, intimidated by this vicious looking semi there phasing lagging woman, and yes, of course. He'll know what to. He won't be any less. I'm sorry. I'm going. And the other guy stands there, still holding up his hands, trying to stop you from advancing. And this one of these lackeys heads off into the darkness behind. Just so you're kind of almost getting. You've managed to make this conversation progress down the narrow corridor a little bit. You're almost in the body of the church.
I turn on the other guy and I go, "Breakfast."
Give me another intimidation check without advantage because you used up your bloody Harry Potter.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, good.
Yeah, good try.
He's implacable.
You got the
Fantastic.
lag bonus.
This one is.
Yeah.
Is there
that's right.
So I don't think he's going to be too.
a
intimidated.
candle lit somewhere in this church, and then a whole bunch of unlit candles that would normally be lit when they admit people?
Cool. You're gonna have to push forward to get into the body of the church to see that for sure.
I
You're just about there.
am
I'm
absolutely
slowly
going to push forward. I'm pushing
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah. Yeah, so you keep jostling forward. This guy's like, just wait. You must not enter. You must not enter the holy place. Stop. And you kind of. He doesn't really look like he's going to come to arms or anything like that.
As
Does he
soon
not
as
look at all like concerned that I'm a priest?
Yeah. Okay. Let's say he now sort of finally clocks you because he hadn't. Yeah. They were transfixed by the horrific pile of bodily fluids that was in your arms. And then he finally connects with you and says, "What? Wait, who are you? What sorcery is this?"
can I see a candle?
Out of
Yeah,
the
so-
way.
Oh my god!
Are you raging, local? That's
Father Garland! And he just turns and runs off into the church as well.
as soon as I can see a candle, what I wanted to do was basically control flames and make it leap
Excellent.
from one to all the other candles so that the entire place kind of
Like
illuminates
Dao.
into.
Yeah, excellent. That's good. You excellent. I love that.
I
Yeah.
think Dumbledore does that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I definitely wasn't going to say that.
Yeah.
And there's no roof on the roof, and then you can see the candles floating in the air.
Yeah, no, there's some kind of cigarette lighter thing that, they get given to one of the other characters at some point in the plot, and it's really important.
Yes.
It could be anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
All I know is that in my amazing fantasy world, Murray sweeps his hand ever so casual across the room, and the light of the single candle that was at the altar springs across all the candles which are unlit for night. Like magic.
Like an original storyline.
Completely
Like
original
nothing
story.
you've ever seen before.
That's right.
The way, and then I'm going to turn to Lorkel and say, "The way is prepared. Lay her on the altar."
Awesome. So you start to cross the room so that you've come in halfway down the church, and you're starting to walk down towards the altar. The church is quite beautiful. Double, triple height stone walls, flying wooden beams up the top. There's a incredibly beautiful chandelier hanging above kind of the front area of kind of the Holy of Holies, if this was a Christian church. And Nathan's having issues. And then there's a large glowing white marble altar, and lying on it is a enormous, as in kind of like 50% bigger than it should be, great sword, which is half of the symbol of Aostra.
And 8 coffins.
They're pews.
So it's about the same
Oh,
thing.
that's smelly.
Yeah,
And the scale
Eustace.
is-
When was the
scale
last time you were
isn't
in
exactly
church?
like this. It's a bit bigger than this, is what you're imagining, but it's still small townishness.
Ben, can I look around at the? Is there stained glass windows? Are there any bas reliefs or any?
Yeah, that's right.
mosaic?
So there's large statues of angelic figures in each of these 4 alcoves, and backed by stained glass windows. You presume they look sort of like complicated glass, but there's not hardly any light coming in at the moment. There is a little.
Does any of them?
light.
Does any of the decorations look like the girl in Lorkel's arms?
There is an amazing piece of fresco on the wall behind the marble altar and the great sword of a glorious looking goddess, winged and powerful. She's completely naked except for this incredibly winding, beautiful hair, which conveniently covers all her privates, and she wields in one hand a great silver sword, and in the other the very power of the sun. And she looks down. She must be kind of like sort of 20 feet or so, looking down at the church.
This is like Ben's way of getting himself a cool magic weapon.
I reckon
Sucks.
Faradis is going to take it.
No, I can't take that one, that's for sure. I need
Yeah.
Wow.
The chandelier is actually hanging in space, as in it's not hanging from a wire. It looks beautiful, and it's slowly rotating, and a crystalline light. Now there's a little bit of light in the room. It is glinting off the shards of glass that make up this chandelier, and shining on the stone. A man comes rushing out, also in white robes with golden tassels. He also has a kind of a headpiece thing that makes him very slightly more important than the other people. And following along behind him is one of these inept acolytes, and the other acolyte almost barrels into him. Father Garland, there's sorcery. They've violated the church. They must be repelled. Also, slightly awkwardly behind you is the family of this dead father, who kind of have been coming in, sort of expecting to kind of get the normal kind of service, and are rather perplexed with what's happening.
They got bonus service.
That's right.
So I'm going to walk up there with putting out my one finger, and I'm just going to walk up to her, and I'm going to just kind of like put my finger over there and just pretend to lay on hands.
Stop! What is going on here? Who are you? Why have you broken into this holy place?
We've brought you your goddess.
My what? And
And I indicate
he indicates.
Yostra.
He pauses for a moment. He's not as great a fool as his acolytes. And he
Well, his acolytes
says,
are pretty
What
foolish.
are you saying, my goddess? And he walks slowly
look.
towards
Boom.
this young, obviously very ill woman. And he looks
Lay on
down.
hands.
Looks down at her.
You can do it, Nathan.
Oh yeah, no, just bang, done. I gotta try and heal her. That's what I am.
I'm in visions of Baradus laying on hands. It's actually him flicking you. Oh, lay on hand.
So I'm gonna
Take some healing.
He's gonna try and grab your hand as like you sort of you're gonna reach out to touch her, and
Yes.
I'm gonna give him an Arcana check. Okay, which he fails really badly, so he's not really aware you're gonna. No, I was not. Yeah, any sort of check with that roll.
Nope.
Not really aware of what you're gonna do.
I'm gonna heal someone.
Yeah, so let's say you get
Yeah.
your hand there.
So I'm gonna put
Yep.
that to her, and then knowing what you did last time, I'm gonna guess that it's gonna be about the same.
Excellent.
Prove to her. Prove to him.
You got 3 to lose. You're fine.
I've got so many fingers,
So-
more than 10.
One of the acolytes actually tries to grab Father Galen. Is that his name?
Sure.
And push him out of the way, Garland. And there's a great emanation of energy. I'm gonna roll myself to see how bad this is, since you insist on doing it again and again. So Lorcal, you're gonna take 2 hit points damage. Faradus, you're gonna take 2 hit points damage. Who else is sort of right near her? Anyone else?
I was indicating the way, so I'm probably a bit further away.
Yeah. Father Galen is blown backwards, and just
Feel the
energy
power.
pummels into him, and then he staggers on his feet, and he says, "What are you doing? Why are you casting? What is that magic you've cast?"
Do you not know? Your goddess
He
is
turns
magic.
to Faradus and bears down on you. Defiling
Healing?
my temple? Who are you? What dwarven god do you serve?
Oh no, this is
don't remember.
terrible luck.
The bearded one?
I do not recognize it. You are channeling power, but it is rebounding.
Yes.
What is going on here?
Do you not recognize the magic that comes off her?
What? What? How? I don't understand what you're saying.
You wouldn't, would you?
I'd like to nick the sword, Ben,
Garland,
while all this is going on.
Garland,
Nice.
It's like 10 times as tall as you.
Yeah,
Excellent.
and I'd like to steal it, and yeah.
Excellent.
Well, that's
so
my
you
first thing I'd like
you
to
sneak
do.
off. Give me stealth. Give me stealth up to the altar to see if you can slip away.
Remember to use your Harry Potter advantage roll.
Yeah,
Yes.
use your Harry Potter advantage
That's right.
roll.
Take Harry Potter advantage.
I need it because I rolled a 1.
Oh.
I got a 15.
Ooh.
A 15. Wow, 15 is all you need.
nice.
So you're up
Thanks.
at the altar with
Oh.
your hands reaching out to this sword. Excellent.
Thanks be to Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Thanks always be the Harry Potter.
I want
Garland.
to nick the sword and bring it down to
Garland.
Eostra
Ooh.
This
and slide
girl
it
is
into her hand.
this girl is sick.
Ooh.
She needs healing. And then yeah, everyone gives me. He just blanches when he says that, like really badly.
What do you want?
And
What's the roll?
and there's sort of this awkward moment. Yeah, I was going to get you to make perception checks to see him sort of go when he said that, but it's fairly obvious.
When he says what?
When he says she needs healing, it's just a weird thing for a priest of a divine church to say, isn't it?
I say, well, by all means, man, go ahead and do it.
And the moment which was awkward before becomes 5 times more awkward. He's like,
I'm going to add to that awkwardness because I love a bit of awkward silence on the Richter scale of awkward silence. Do you not believe?
that actually makes him take a step back.
Where is your faith?
Father,
Yeah.
why allow these people to talk to you such? They are faithless. They should get out of your church, just like we sent the others away.
Sent
This
others
is-
away.
There is one way.
We Aostra has commanded us to meditate on her on her will, and we have. Do you have the fee? And you see him sort of slip into kind of like religious mode. You of course have brought the required fee. Our services are not for any. You are not faithful of the Church of Aostra. You cannot demand from me services. And you seem. Oh, yeah.
Aostra demands it.
And I just hold her out towards him.
Yep.
Can I slide the handle into her hand?
Is it actually too heavy for you to carry?
I don't know. Probably not.
No, probably it's extremely heavy for you. 50% bigger. Yeah, I think right. You're not.
I think
tiny.
I couldn't wield it, but I could carry it. I just couldn't. I couldn't use it.
Not like a real sword. Yeah.
That's right. I love it. Okay. So you're sort of carrying it heavily towards her. Carrying it, yes, gracefully and agilely and with great intent and control. And you
I want to
turn
put
the handle towards her.
her.
Her hands are lying backwards, sort of fallen backwards. The head is lolling with almost sort of unconsciousness. She seems to be kind of, about to expire if no one just heals her. I mean, it's not like Faradis hasn't been trying.
Yeah.
And you're just going to sort of slip the sword handle into her palm.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely.
You have to ask like something.
So,
it'd be worse if I slipped the blade into her hand and then she gripped it and then lost her fingers.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
She and Faradis would be paired forever.
No.
Her hand
No.
with like a just supernatural frightened and grips the blade with strength you didn't know she still had left in her. And the body in your arms, Faradis, suddenly straightens out. The ground starts to shake, and she's suddenly weightless in front of you, and light starts to stream out from her body. Mucus and dust and shit all lift off her skin as if repelled by sort of distaste for being so close to such a pure flesh, and then dissolves into black ashes. You're all pushed back, including the faithless acolytes and the priest of this church, are pushed back by a force. The ground just seems to be ever so slightly waving, and her body rotates slowly from being horizontal to being vertical. Her hand arm all the while remaining outstretched, and the sword is held aloft with a strength that it doesn't seem like a young teenage wrist could cope. And
so
yeah,
the people are back, like totally looking at this, going like, "What the hell?" and just like totally just like faint over.
That's right. They just collapse.
Yeah,
they faint. From her other hand, which is outstretched, a glowing mote of sun, of literal millions of times bright sunlight starts to burn in her hand and grow until you're all forced to look away, except for the priest, who is standing confused. She's suspended in the middle of the church, with one hand holding the sword aloft, the other hand outstretched with the power of all of Aostra in her palm. And you're all forced to look away, fall to your knees. The priest is standing there in the middle of the church, whoever happens to be able to see him, just looking around slightly confused. It doesn't even seem for him that the earth is waving. The two acolytes are terrified like you are, and the rest of the family are all unconscious. There's one more peal of thunder. And she slowly lowers down to the floor. And as her feet touch the floor, she seems to shrink back towards the girl she was before. And she folds and falls sideways, sliding onto the floor. The sun disappears from her hand, and the sword, suddenly heavy, rotates and clatters onto the ground, ringing out with a great resounding howl that actually breaks the weapon off of the hilt. There's a awkward tinkling sound from sort of just above you, and a couple of who wants to look up? Someone can look up. Always aware that something terrible could happen. The goblin boy looks up, and you see the chandelier, which was suspended by powerful, persistent magic, just start to accelerate downwards, as if sliding through air that doesn't quite want to let go of it yet, but is very soon going to let go of it yet. And yeah, your first instinct is to leg it.
Who's underneath it?
Who's underneath it? Pretty much everyone's underneath it. It's big enough.
Is it going to hit the girl?
Certainly, yes.
I will dive on top of her and try and roll her out of the way.
Excellent. Good. So you sort of footy tackle her out of the way. Sort of dive over, protect her from the glass.
How big is it?
Oh, it's about kind of 9 feet across. So quite large.
Yeah. I'll stand up to my full height, and I'm gonna attack it. And try and knock it to one side as it comes down.
Excellent. Good. So everyone else is clearing the way. You're clearing the girl, and you're going to attack it. Excellent. You haven't used your advantage roll, have you yet?
No. This is my moment.
This is your moment.
This is your moment.
Yeah. I don't really know what I should roll. Should I just do an unarmed strike?
I think an unarmed strike sounds good, yeah.
Yep.
Silence. Awkward.
Nothing like an awkward silence.
I got 12.
Total of 12.
With advantage. With your advantage.
So you can just imagine...
both my rolls were identical.
Not just one of them. So you see everyone just scatters. Suno grabs the girl and drags her, and they roll together in a whirl of heavy winter fabrics. Eustace, just with natural sort of instant, highly tuned reactions, just legs it straight out of there easily. What about Eressa?
Eressa was going to help Lorkel, and she was going to lightning lure the falling
to push it out,
and then basically whip it to one side.
I love it. So is that an attack roll? Or?
That is, it gets a DC 13 strength save against the spell.
Okay, so I'll give it. So it's one success from the thing and one fail because you had advantage, so I gave it disadvantage against you, and you managed to pull this thing a little bit. Wow. Okay, so you save Lorkel's skin just a little bit. So this thing falls. Wow! Explodes onto the floor of the church, and thousands upon thousands of tiny shards of glass burst out in every direction. And I'll give everyone only 2 hit points damage because you lightning lured this thing towards the altar. It actually lands on the altar, and some of it shatters. There, the fresco that I told you about has embedded hundreds of shards of glass in the naked body of this beautiful goddess. Do they bleed? That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
The bleeding fresco.
The fresco with bleeding fresco.
Yes. Ooh, that's not scary
Stigmata.
at all.
It was a different.
The wall is bleeding.
If it was a different system, you'd be like, "Well, what's been built into that wall?"
Roll sanity.
Do any of you notice it's bleeding? You're all you're all on the floor, legged it. There's
Can
glass
I do like a stone check on the walls? See if there's any kind of like damage or anything done with the stone check. Maybe? I don't know.
Like, do a stone check on the moon and why?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, we'll do that in a minute. That sounds good.
Is the face of the girl, of the goddess, crying? Not just bleeding, but crying tears.
Ooh.
Bleeding bloody tears.
That's
I
really
love
good.
it.
Scary, isn't it?
So Derek, Suno, and Aostra come to a rolling stop, and she's just wide-eyed. Her skin is clean. She doesn't look sick anymore. And she just looks at you straight into Suno's eyes, and she says,
I've been a fool. I am no goddess. What sickness was on me? I'm just a girl.
'Tis no matter. It was just a dream. Come, can you stand?
she gingerly pushes on the ground and rolls enough so she pushes herself up and she stands up. And
Right, I hold her hand and help her up.
Yep, she stands.
I brush her shift and sort of get any glass or any bits of rubble off her. What about her feet? Are they still wounded from the frostbite, or is there any kind of residual...
she's completely healed.
Interesting.
And at that point, yes, stone culling, Faradis, you notice the fresco, which is, yes, you have stone and then you have plaster rendered onto it, and this beautiful painting in paints that will hang onto the plaster before it dries. But chips of this thing have fallen off. There are shards of glass in it, and there's a few trickles of blood coming out of them. And yes, indeed, the goddess is crying bloody tears. Just sort of, it's not pouring out, but they're dribbling down the fresco. And since the fresco rotates up over the altar, they're dropping off and splattering on the ground. The priest is still standing there, Garland, and he looks around at the broken glass. Just, what happened here? Why did that... I feel so empty.
I think it's because you didn't believe enough.
We have been abandoned. She's gone.
The two acolytes try and look sort of equally, sort of pull themselves up, and they're looking at Aostra or whatever her name is, in kind of aghastment. And one of them says, What did she do? How did she do that? She looked like the goddess. And Garland turns to them and says, she looked like what? What are you saying? She was glowing and had a sun and a sword and everything. And Garland seems completely confused by this.
I think you abused her church by charging money and being improper. I think you were...
And closing the doors.
I think you were unfriendly to your goddess, and she has abandoned you, and so she should, because she's our friend.
Just standing right where he is, he takes it all on the chin, and he knows you're right, even though he was the only person here who actually believed. Still wasn't enough to keep him from usury and greed. And he falls to his knees, crack, with an uncomfortable crunch of not only knee bone on marble, but interspersed pieces of glass between those. And he just starts crying there.
Ain't no crack like the crack of pride.
Should we take a wee break there?
Yeah, we can. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that, and we'll come back. That's
All right,
amazing,
guys. We'll see you directly after this break. And
Yes,
thank you for
we haven't
dealing with my
got-
voice.
we haven't got any- we
We'll be
don't.
back in the next video.
We don't have any messages. What are you talking about?
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. See you after these messages.